Hello everyone, Weather Jamaica here. Welcome to this updated video on the weather across Jamaica and the rest of the Caribbean. It is Tuesday evening, October 3, 2023. Now before we jump into it, please ensure that you guys like the video, share it, subscribe and tap the notification bell so that you'll be notified every time I post a brand new video. Feel free to leave a comment down in the comment section letting me know what that's been like in your year recently. Also feel free to ask any other related question that you might have about the future of the in your specific area. I respond to all comments and I really live for this stuff. Alright, so let's just take a look at what the United States Climate Prediction Center is showing on their Global Tropics Hazard Outlook for the next 3 weeks. You can see that by week 2, we have some reds and whites across the western Caribbean to the Gulf of Mexico, and that's indicative of some amount of tropical cyclone formation probability. And we have much of the same around the week of October 18 to the 24. So we know these things go when it comes to the Climate Prediction Center. Sometimes it happens. However, we know these things are not set in stone, so it's just a waiting game. At this point, we have to stay updated. Taking a look at what the U.S. National Hurricane Center is showing on their 7-day graphical tropical weather outlook, we can see that they don't have much in the way of areas of possible development. All we have left is Tropical Storm Philippe right there, still affecting portions of the Leeward Islands and northeastern Caribbean. At 5 p.m. today, or 4 p.m. Jamaica time, we saw that Philippe was located right there up to the northeast of Puerto Rico. It's still packing winds of up to 45 miles per hour at this time, and it's moving to the northwest at 12 miles per hour. Taking a look at the surface map of the Atlantic for this evening, we can see where we have a cold front still right there, stretching all the way across portions of the Bahamas into Cuba. We can see the purple symbol right here that stands for Tropical Storm Philippe to the northeast of Puerto Rico. We can see a tropical wave right there to the east of the Caribbean, and another tropical wave right there to the south of the Cabo Verde Islands. Taking a look at the visible satellite images before the sun went down, we can see the clouds associated with that cold front still stretching all the way from northern sections of North Atlantic all the way down into the northwestern Caribbean. Definitely brings some amount of overcast sky showers and thunderstorms sections of the Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, Cuba. You can even see some of that inducing more of a trough-like activity across sections of Haiti. They're definitely getting in on some convective activity. Even Jamaica getting in on some of that trough-like weather as well. We can see the clouds spinning away associated with Tropical Storm Philippe. Lots of deep convection showers and thunderstorms affecting portions of eastern Puerto Rico and the US and British Virgin Islands. We can also see some lingering clouds right there across portions of the eastern Caribbean, but majority of that is going to be dissipating shortly. Taking a look to the east of Philippe, we can see another tropical wave that we mentioned, and to the east of that tropical wave, that other tropical wave that we mentioned, that's to the south of the Cabo Verde Islands. We'll be talking more about the weather across Jamaica or the Caribbean later on. Let's focus our attention on the prediction that was made in yesterday's video about the weather across Jamaica for today. So a post was made on our Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok pages highlighting the forecast for Tuesday. We made a very fancy tweet. It said, "Brace yourselves, Jamaica. Tuesday, October 3, 2023 might just be nature's way of giving you an impromptu water park. Prepare for a tropical downpour extravaganza that could potentially turn streets into rivers and backyards into lakes." And we posted our video, the shorter version on Twitter, the longer version on our YouTube page. And we definitely got in on some amount of afternoon rainfall. Even although there were some doubters doubting the rainfall, we definitely got it across sections of eastern, central, and western Jamaica. We got it, and we made the post at around 3:15 p.m. highlighting the infrared satellite images showing the high cold cloud tops, the blues, the greens, the yellows, the oranges, the reds, and even blacks, not to mention the sparkling white dots that represent some amount of lightning flashes, if not lightning strikes. And we definitely got in on some of that across those areas. And we even had confirmation from some of our commenters. There were lots of comments coming in about the rainfall, too many to read actually. Well, we'll just read a few. Money stating rain day, man. Then we had Hale stating rain start in Kingston. Even on our Instagram page, we had a lot of comments coming in, but we'll only read 2 of them. Robinson Andrew stating rain, lightning, and thunder. A beat Old Harbor Road, water cover concrete and board. And that's Evables Almighty stating raining heavy in Barbican. If we take a look at the visible satellite images of Jamaica before the sun went down, we'll see where we indeed had that cloud cover across the island for today. Those high cold cloud tops, those popcorn looking thunder clouds, cumulonimbus clouds, and we see it even better on the infrared satellite images for today. So it definitely started out across sections of some inland areas of some central and eastern parishes in Jamaica. Then it started to spread towards the south and to the coastal area. So definitely we got in some amount of afternoon thunderstorms across sections of St. Thomas, Kingston and St. Andrew, St. Catherine, Clarendon, Manchester, and even portions of St. Elizabeth might have gotten on some of that afternoon thunderstorm activity. And then we saw that by the evening hour right now, majority of these clouds have died down, dissipated back to nothing. Maybe just some light rainfall, as we can see on the Cuban Doppler radar images, with those greens that dissipated in the last few frames. So drizzle became nothing. And even on the accumulated precipitation for the past 24 hours by the Caribbean Institute for Meteorology and Hydrology website, we saw where we indeed had the confirmation of the rainfall for today. We know that this map is not 100% accurate, especially considering that we didn't have much in the way of rainfall across sections of some northern parishes in Jamaica. But it does paint a picture that yes, we indeed had some amount of rainfall across sections of the island, eastern, central, and some western spots as well. Taking a look at the temperatures right now, we can say we have 26 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 27 degrees Celsius in Kingston, and by the time we get down to about 3 a.m. on Wednesday, the temperature should get down to about 25 degrees Celsius in both Montego Bay and Kingston. Taking a look at the temperature forecast for tomorrow, we do see some more in the way of yellows and some slight oranges. This could mean 1 to 2 degrees Celsius above normal temperatures for Wednesday. This map from the Euro and the GFS are showing 18Z on Wednesday, which is actually 1 p.m. on Wednesday. I know the average temperatures for the month of October in Jamaica is about 89 degrees Fahrenheit. When we take a look at the thermometer, 89 degrees Fahrenheit is about the equivalent of 31 degrees Celsius. So if we should be receiving 1 to 2 degrees Celsius above normal temperatures across Jamaica for Wednesday, it should be anywhere from 31 to 33 degrees Celsius at most. It's still definitely gonna be hot. Try your very best to stay as hydrated as possible. Stay out of the sun during peak hours. Peak hours, as we know, are between the hours of 9 and 4 p.m. Let us take a look at the dry air map. We still see that we still have a lot of moist air across majority of the Caribbean basin, as indicated by all of those blue colors that we see. We don't have much in the way of dry air. We know the dry air by the key at the bottom is represented by the yellows, the oranges, the reds, and the whites within those reds. And we see the driest air right there across portions of the eastern Gulf of Mexico, of the east coast of the United States, as well as portions of the northern section of the main development region. Taking a look at the Saharan dust forecast for 2 p.m. on Wednesday, we do see that we have some slight browns across majority of the main development region, especially right there off the coast of Africa, where we have those darker shades of browns. Hopefully this doesn't make it across the Caribbean later this week. Taking a look at the wave forecast for Jamaica for Wednesday, we do see that we have the 0 to 0.5 of a meter wave heights expected surrounding the island, and that's due to the fact that we're still not in for those strong winds at all. We see some slight greens that represent maybe 5 to 10 knot winds on the south coast on both the Euro and the GFS malls. They seem to be coming in from the south or maybe the southeast, while on the north coast they're coming in somewhat from the east or the east northeast. Either way, we do see where we have those darker shades of blues. We have those darker shades of blues across inland areas of some eastern, central, and western parishes on the Euro, more in the way across sections of some northern and northwestern parishes on the GFS. Either way, we know what happens usually during the afternoon. We have those clouds, those cumulus clouds, building up. Then they transform themselves into cumulonimbus clouds when we have that daytime heating. Then we have that diurnal convection, those cumulus clouds becoming cumulonimbus clouds. And then with the upper level winds coming in from the northeast, as we can see on both the Euro and the GFS malls for 18th on Wednesday, which is actually 1 p.m. on Wednesday, that will definitely favor more of that thunderstorm activity across sections of some northern parishes in Jamaica. So definitely some possible rainfall in store for sections of those northern areas. Portland, St. Mary, St. Anne, Trelawney, St. James, Hanover could get in on majority of that rainfall. Let us take a look at what the precipitation forecast is showing for Wednesday afternoon. We can see that both the Euro and the GFS are in consensus with where the blues that represent rainfall are located. Sections of some eastern, central, and western parishes. We even see some more in the way of robust or heavier rainfall, as indicated by those darker shades of blues, right there on the border of St. Anne, St. Mary, as well as sections of St. Elizabeth and Manchester. And we do see the consensus, even the euro is a bit more robust across the St. Elizabeth and Manchester area. So we just have to wait to see what happens exactly if you reside in those parishes. Ensure that you have your umbrella, your rain gear, raincoat, water board, whatever the case may be. This is valid for 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is actually 2 p.m. Jamaica time. So there's definitely some amount of afternoon convection in store for us. And as relates to the accumulated precipitation forecast, we do see that yes, we have rainfall in store for sections of eastern, central, and western Jamaica, but we can see that the rainfall totals are a bit different. The euro is a bit less drastic, showing up to 0.5 of an inch of rainfall. That's around the Kingston and St. Andrew area on the euro model. Keeping in mind that this map from the euro and from the GFS are showing all the rainfall that's expected from now up until 10 p.m. on Wednesday. And we do see where on the GFS model we have the totals going up to 0.94 of an inch of rainfall, especially across the St. Elizabeth Black River area. Maybe that's up to an inch. Maybe some isolated flash flooding could take place. Either way, we need to stay vigilant just in case some amount of isolated flash flooding takes place. We need to stay vigilant. Thank you very much. Alright, so let's continue. So let us take a look at the rainfall that we usually get across Jamaica for the entire year. We're just looking at Kingston at the top, Montego Bay at the bottom, and we can see that we're in October now. And for the month of October, we usually get the most rainfall across the Jamaica area, showing up to maybe even 9 inches of rainfall in October for Montego Bay, almost up to 200 millimeters of rainfall. You can make your calculations to see what a millimeter or how many millimeters make up an inch and vice versa to calculate to see which one of the areas gets more. Definitely Montego Bay getting more rainfall in October than Kingston. Alright, so that's it for the forecast across Jamaica. Let's focus our attention on the rest of the Caribbean. So as stated, we have lots of thunderstorm activity taking place across sections of the northeastern Caribbean associated with Tropical Storm Philippe, as well as that troughing kind of activity, not to mention the cold front, across sections of the Greater Antilles at this time. We do see where we had that afternoon convection as usual across sections of Mexico, Belize, Guatemala, Honduras, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Panama, Colombia. Even sections of Venezuela got in on some of that as well. Taking a look at the Doppler radar images of the northeastern Caribbean, we do see where we indeed had that rainfall across the northeastern Caribbean today, all courtesy of Tropical Storm Philippe's outer bands. So definitely sections of Dominica, Martinique, Guadeloupe, sections of St. John's, Antigua, Barbuda, Anguilla, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Martin, sections of Puerto Rico, definitely southeastern Puerto Rico got in on some heavy rainfall for today as indicated by those oranges and yellows. Definitely got in on some amount of flash flooding taking place. Right now we can see the majority of the rainfall is pushed off to the east of Puerto Rico. Definitely brings some amount of thunderstorm activity and flooding to sections of the US and British Virgin Islands. Taking a look at the wider view of Doppler radar images across the eastern Caribbean, all courtesy of the Barbados radar. We don't see much taking place across Barbados, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Grenada, Trinidad and Tobago. Definitely starting to clear out now, but we do see some leftover rainfall right there, trailing into sections of Martinique, sections of Dominica right there, even sections of Guadeloupe getting on some of that, all courtesy of Philippe. Taking a look at the weather view of Doppler radar images, we do see that rainfall that we just confirmed across sections of Cuba, Mexico, Belize, Guatemala, Honduras, sections of northern Venezuela as well. Taking a look at the temperature forecast for the Caribbean, we do see those orange colors across sections of the eastern Caribbean that represent up to 3 or even 4 degrees Celsius above normal temperatures. Look at all those reds across sections of the main development regions, northern portion, as well as sections of South America. Definitely some amount of above normal temperatures all across the board across the Caribbean. We do see more in the way of average to slightly below average temperatures across sections of Florida and the east coast of the United States, and that's all courtesy of the cold front that is situated there. Taking a look at the Saharan dust forecast for 2 p.m. on Wednesday, we do see that majority of the Caribbean is in the clear. As we can see, the browns that represent the Saharan dust plume is across the main development region by that time, with the most robust plumes indicated by the darker shades of browns right there off the coast of Africa. Taking a look at the wave forecast all across the Caribbean, we do see where we have that lighter shade of blue across the western and even central Caribbean, even stretching into sections of the Bahamas. We see that on both the Euro and the GFS malls. That's where we're going to be having our 0 to 0.5 for meter wave heights. Where we have those darker shades of blues, we have that 1.5 meter wave heights. So those purples, we have those 2 meter wave heights. And it makes sense because wherever we have those 2 meter wave heights or more, that's where we have those strongest winds. The strongest winds are represented by the yellows, up to 25 knot winds. That's what it represents. The brighter greens, they represent even up to 10 to 15 or even 20 knots. We can see that coming in from the east and the northeast across the Gulf of Mexico, across the east coast of the United States, from the southeast across the eastern Caribbean, all trying to suck into Tropical Storm Philippe. While the Caribbean, the central and western Caribbean, where we have those little amount of wave heights, that's where we don't have much in the way of strong winds. Winds are actually, weak, variable, averaging anywhere from 0 to 0.5 or 5 to 10 knots actually. And we see that on both the Euro and the GFS malls, and we know we're looking for consensus when we want to be accurate with the forecasting. Taking a look at the rainfall forecast now, we still see lots of tremendous rainfall totals still in the forecast. Maybe some isolated flash flooding might take place, and we see that across sections of the Bahamas, Cuba, Haiti, sections of the Dominican Republic could get in on some isolated rainfall. We can see definitely more rainfall in store for Puerto Rico, US and British Virgin Islands, sections of Anguilla, maybe St. Kitts and Nevis, maybe some isolated rainfall for sections of Guadeloupe, still to get some rainfall, Dominica. And we can also see that we have some amount of disagreement with the next amount of rainfall across the Barbados, sections of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Trinidad and Tobago. We see something different with what the Euro and the GFS malls are showing. Either way, rain is gonna be coming shortly across the southeastern Caribbean, the Windward Islands, all courtesy of the tropical wave that's right to the east or the southeast of Philippe. Taking a look at the South America area, we do see where we have some amount of isolated rainfall in store for sections of French Guyana, Suriname, Guyana. Sections of Venezuela might get on some of that as well. We do see sections of Colombia as usual, even some purples up in there, maybe even up to 6 inches of rainfall. That's the Euro model. The GFS shows the same thing. Panama as well, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, El Salvador, Honduras, sections of Guatemala, Belize, and sections of the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico. We do see some rainfall in store for sections of the Cayman Islands, Cuba as well. And we know that when we see the consensus, or we see both the Euro and the GFS models showing the same thing like this, the chances of it actually happening are much higher. Alright, so that's it for today. Thanks for watching.